afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's a joy to be with you, especially from my own home. It's even more of a pleasure. Hopefully, you're able to get something out of tonight, and it can help you in your career and help you on your projects, help you to be able to save money and become more efficient. Let me see. There we go. I want to start today with a little story from John D Rockefeller. If any of you don't know him, he is the oil tycoon. In fact, because of his desire to make sure that oil was at a very low price, he was always looking for ways to save money. And some of these ways were very obvious. Some people might have fought back with him on them, though. One of these ways was when he was watching the barrels of oil get soldered, the top get soldered and closed. He found out they were putting 40 drops of solder to shut it close. And he asked a question, why don't we just use 38 drops? And probably the people doing it thought we're saving so little money by doing 2 less drops. But in reality, what ended up happening was they ended up starting to do only 39 drops of solder. So 1 less drop of solder. The first year it saved them $2,500. But it went on, because of their size, to save them millions of dollars in our currency. One small change that was very obvious, very simple, but it's something that had a very big impact. And what I'm going to relay to you tonight, the model I'm going to relay to you tonight, is something that it doesn't require a lot to do. It's very simple, but it is counterintuitive, meaning many people, they don't either, one, when they look at it, they don't understand it because it hasn't been explained correctly to them, or they just don't want to see it. Tonight, as we go through this, if you have any questions at all, please voice them. If I go over a concept, you don't understand it, please ask a question. Everything, hopefully, if I did it right, should be very simple, and you should have very minimal questions to ask me. Let's get on with this. The agenda, this is my agenda. First, I go over the logic. Then I'm going to identify what the logic tells us is required to set up a high-performing project. Then we'll review Agile. And from the logic and the ideas of the logic, we'll find a way to improve and make Agile more usable and higher performing. And that's when we get into the best value approach. So I'm going to get started. The first thing we want to ask is, what creates risk? What is the one most important thing we can do to make sure that we have no risk and we minimize any issues on any project that we perform? And what it really comes down to, if you look at the industry structure model, this on the x-axis, you have perceived competition. Everybody wants to be on the right-hand side because higher competition leads to lower costs. But what we want is we want high competition and high performance. And what they have identified leads to the highest performance is very simple. It's when you have somebody that actually knows what they're doing, that they're an expert at what you're doing. But not only do you have to identify an expert and bring them onto your project, but you have to listen to them and you have to utilize their expertise. I can't tell you how many people I've seen hire an expert, but then go around and tell that expert exactly how to do their job, when to do their job, and what the parameters should be in doing their job. And so the 2 requirements is we need an expert, and then we need to utilize their expertise. And that's what gets us out of the price-based model to the best value approach, or the best value model, where we get the most bang for our buck. But the issue is what? This is really the biggest issue, is that when we are trying to find an expert, there are non-experts chickens that get in there. And these chickens muck everything up because we can't tell the difference between the expert, the person who knows exactly what to do and how to do it, and the person who really doesn't know what they're doing. And this is the biggest issue in the industry, I believe, that companies, organizations, and people can't tell the difference between who the expert is and who the expert isn't. Because when it really comes down to it, If you have an expert, it doesn't matter what model of management you have, the expert will always do a great job. You have to really do something crazy to stop an expert from performing. And what we have found in the construction industry with all the different delivery models, what really mattered wasn't the delivery model. It was that they had an expert on the job who knew exactly what they're doing. And this is what I tell vendors. I tell vendors, if you want to know how to win a best value approach project, you find someone in your company that actually knows how to do the work the most efficiently and better than anybody else in the world. And you let that person bid on the project and do the project. Now, how are we going to make sure we always have an expert and we can tell the difference? So I'm going to show you 4 principles of logic here. Just 4, they're very simple. And from that, we're going to kind of get an idea of a framework that we need to make sure that only an expert can get on our project.
Thanks for watching. To see the rest of this presentation or more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon below. Leave us a comment if you have any questions or you have any topics you'd like us to explore in the future. Thanks, and we'll see you around.